So I don't know if you've met before, but this gentleman right here is Tim Pool. He has is several, like two channels here on YouTube. One's Timcast, the other one is Tim Pool, and he is a journalist that has been out in the field for years now. Probably, I would call like the Walter Cronkite of internet journalism. You know, I mean, he's done documentaries. He's been on the ground with Darren Ferguson during Occupy Wall Street. I mean, he's put in a lot of work, and so he's definitely one of the most respected people on this platform. And he produced a video speaking on Sweden. And I really like his content because he's very open about his biases. This is one of the reasons I'm very open about my biases. You kind of gotta be, because, like, what's the point of lying anymore, right? Or pretending, or you know, trying to be somebody you're not. But a lot of people consider him a milquetoast and, you know, a fence sitter, a middle of the ground type guy. But, you know, he's just trying to wait. He's doing the smart thing, which is waiting for more information, as much information as possible before making a judgment. And that's what, well, you know, smart people tend to do. So I trust this guy. I like this guy. If you can, go give him a sub, like, as ASAP, because with Black Pigeon Speaks getting taken down today, you just don't know, you know, who or what is coming next when it comes to this whole YouTube purge and them going more corporate and bending the knee to, like, you know, the networks and everything else like that, and being more family friendly. So, but this point that he makes right here is masterful. And he's talking about Sweden. He's talking about Swedish liberals. But this can really be applied, just lathered all over here in the United States, man. Like, in there, any Democrat, and it's about migrants, but let's go.
Help people actually integrate in Swedish society. Sweden, I was told by several people, many white people, is notoriously racist. And what I mean by that, or what they explained to me, is it's not racist as in, like, you know, how they would describe the far right or anything like that. It's this elitist, snooty, biteswa type racism, where they act like they're super elite and better than you, and it's a soft bigotry of low expectations, but they still don't want you in their cafes, right? The idea being, they talk about how wonderful and how nice they are for letting all these people in, and then push them into a ghetto and say, look at all the people we brought in from these poor countries. We're such good people. And then those people are poor and hungry, and they're not...
Yeah. 133%. 133%. And in the United States, it takes place in the redlined black districts. I just did a video where we're talking about the foreclosures and everything else like that. And they take these houses, and now they're stuffing them full of the new voting block that they have here. They made sure to get all the old folk out of their homes, as many of them as they could out of their homes, and created the space. Yeah, pushed them right into the ghetto, right into the hood. Boom, right there. And this takes place right here in the United States. We don't need to go to Sweden, bruh. It's all right here.
They struggle to find work. They struggle for education. They're treated like foreigners in the country they were born in, the children of these migrants, and the Swedish people act like they're, you know, all high and mighty, and this results in the obvious.
Yeah, so, well, as far as being treated like foreigners, I mean, if you're in the hood, particularly if you're of a black and brown country, I mean, the police are the police no matter what, no matter if you're in America. So I guess that's where, you know, USA.
One of the biggest problems, one of the most annoying things I have with race realists and the racists in this regard is that they're like, see, the Somalians are coming here. That proves blah, 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 blah. No. What this proves is that Sweden, a wealthy society that exports weapons to make their money, took a bunch of poor refugees, crammed them into a ghetto, and offered them very little and said, you're on your own. And then the people in Sweden, these regressive Baitsua means, like, for those that aren't familiar, it's a Chinese word that refers to people who care more about their appearance and pretend to be for social justice. There's a longer explanation, but they basically...
Yeah, it's called a Democrat. A Batswa is called a Democrat. I mean, it's like he said, the soft bigotry of low expectations. If by some hook or crook, Mr. Poole ever gets an opportunity to check out this video, I'll happily point him in the direction of the official the official elected official channel, where I spent about 2-3 years figuring and putting together the pieces of to exactly why American hoods such as the Chicago of which you hail from, how they are the way they are, why they are the way they are. And you know, it's profitable. There's money to be made, but the question is, who makes the money? I mean, when the Swedish dump these people in these places, it's no different than, you know, those dumping the people here. But the difference is that here, when the migrants get here and they've been here for like a while, they definitely have their own little hookups and their own little ways about, you know, taking care of their family and making sure that they and their own are taken care of. That is one thing that you got to give the U.S., man. We're an awesome country, but when it comes to the attitude, yeah, that's universal, brother.
Really talk about how we're all for helping these people. Yes, then stop cramming them in ghettos and basically creating these pockets of poverty. If there's one thing we know is true, it's that poverty breeds crime. And if you create these areas where you force these people into these ghettos, and then they struggle to find work, they can't pay their rent, so they turn to crime, you can't then turn around and get all racist about it. Certainly.
Right? I mean, my dude, 130% with you. Like, but that's what we have here in the United States. It's all around us. Traits
can be inherited. I'm not a scientist on this matter. I'm not a scientist, especially not a biologist. But I've read a lot about this, and there's a lot of intelligent people who I respect in this capacity. But it really frustrates me when, regardless of what your thoughts are on, you know, the people from wherever, there's one thing that's simple, and it's that Sweden is not doing. Okay, hold on. Let me stop. They may have been changing this, you know, over the past few years to rectify this problem. But I want to make sure I stress the problems we're seeing with grenade tech specifically, as they mentioned in this Wikipedia article.
Okay, so he's going back into the whole thing is about grenades and bombings that are taking place over in Sweden. But when I sat there and listened to this initially and heard him go like, yeah, like we're gonna stuff them in the ghetto and we're gonna keep pushing, and him just like, oh yeah, this is a Sweden thing. No, bruh. This is what the UK did. This is what they did in the UK. This is what they did here in the United States. This is what the globalists do. They sit there and push people there to replace the people that, you know, they've exploited to death already. You know, that's just how it rolls. And really, guys, that's about it, though. I think, yeah, that's about it as far as this video goes. I just really, when Tim Pool said that, and I've been wanting to do a video and kind of just give Tim Pool some props because I really like him. I think he's a good journalist. I think he tries to come from a balanced place, even though I do not agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything anyone says, though, but that's just me. So, you know, I mean, if you can, give him a sub. Go check him out on BitChute, Minds, all these other places too, because, you know, I mean, he's a good guy and definitely enjoy his work. Soak him in if you can. And so that's about it. Like it if you liked it. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. Share because sharing is caring. And speak. Let me know. What do you think? I mean, didn't he hit the nail on the head when it comes to just the liberal, basically the blue team, those who are just, you know, I mean, and honestly, you can't help but feel like they're genuine in what they feel that they're doing. These elitists who are just like, oh yes, but you know, keep them over there, you know. I think they're genuine. I think they're just genuinely like douchebags too. Like, I mean, but we all have that way about us to an extent, you know. I mean, discernment isn't a bad thing. I'll put it to you guys like that. But do you believe that, or do you think, hey man, yeah, I just want to rub elbows with everybody? I mean, because I kind of want to do that, but I will rub elbows with anybody, but I don't want to rub elbows with just anybody. See what I'm saying? So, you know, discernment isn't a bad thing. And if you disagree, that's what the comments are for. So until the next one.